Now we are back at the home of Father Win MC Pix, who's documenting the haunting in the home of his family for over a year now. At this point, Win believes that the ghost of a young boy has followed him even to his daily job site, and he's seeing strange occurrences almost on the daily now.
Oh, it's cold right here. It's the other way. Hello? I'm not going up there. Definitely not going back there. Oh wow, it is really cold right here. What was that? Oh. I don't think it's happy we're here. I don't know. Oh, holy. Dude, there's...
Not only could he hear demonic noises in the building that day, but there was the silhouette of a creepy shadow figure, lurking in the corner in one of the rooms, evidently staring at Win. Creepy for sure, and a few nights after that, Win has captured more of the activity that today followed him back into his own house.
I'm playing only up in my office. Something keeps passing by this window. If you're walking by my office, I want you to knock it off. Holy. Is that you making all that noise back there? This thing's always closing doors. You need to get out. Dude. Will you knock it off, please? You gotta get out. You're gonna lock yourself in the laundry room again? You're not leaving? You're not gonna...
The noises sound pretty similar to what could be heard in the other building, making it almost certain that he is dealing with the same entity here. See how it is walking towards the door and then closing it? Pretty creepy, I would say. Let's see how this case will develop in the future. Our next clip was filmed on a family gathering to celebrate the life of a recently deceased family member. Was the person in question maybe around as well? The person with the camera clearly was not anticipating anything out of the ordinary. It is when they start to film the hallway right next to the living room that a fast shadow can be captured. If you're following my channel, you have seen quite the number of shadow figures. What do you think about this capture here? Real or just a hoax? Next we are gonna check out a video which was captured by a young man on a nightly trip on his motorcycle. The story goes that he was on his way home that night, and that he had his GoPro mounted to his helmet for security reasons. After passing by another lane, he states that he heard some weird weeping noises, turned his head, and recorded the following. The comments range from this being a strange spirit in a nightgown to it just being a reflection from somewhere or even editing. Could this be a kuntilanak? That's at least what the driver believes. Hard to say. The following case has been documented by a young girl who tells us that her parents are owning a store in their town. They actually live straight across from it on the other side of the alley. There have been many legends about this area of town being haunted, and the whole family is hearing and seeing some really strange things in their store. And ever so often, when nobody seems to be in there, those floating shadows can even be seen through the window. And it doesn't matter if it is day or night. Everybody has been freaked out by these incidents, and the family doesn't really know what to do about them. The girl states, however, that they are considering a cleansing by a priest, and I'll keep my eyes open for any updates regarding this case. It's pretty creepy though, isn't it? Video was uploaded by the Fourth Wall, who upload paranormal content from Japan, and who I like to feature. Fourth Wall states that this footage was sent to them by a user who would like to remain anonymous. According to them, they had seen a ghostly figure in the same spot multiple times on their way home from work at night, so they decide that they will film the spot and see what they catch. The individual who captured the footage said that in person the ghostly figure was much more clear in real life, with even some distinguishing features of a person. However, once the camera was on the ghost, it seemed only a faint white shadow could be seen. It is as though only the spirit's energy was captured on film. Do you think the white shadow, rather than black, might be an indicator that this is a friendly spirit? Notice the way the shadow seems to move and sway slightly. Weird. The following terrifying case was documented by a mother who noticed that her young son seemed to be talking more and more to an imaginary friend whenever he was playing alone in his room. One day the mother asked her son who he was talking to, and he responded, "The woman with the long hair." And what's even more is the unsettling drawings the boy started to come up with. The following afternoon, the young mother was recording a video for the family, when she noticed her young son talking to someone and waving towards the door. And the woman swears that she never saw what was captured with her phone camera. We can see a woman with dark long hair, just as her son had described her, and she was floating in the door just a few steps away. People believe this to be an evil entity that had attached itself to the boy. What a terrifying thought. The next encounter has been shared by Robin Montgomery, who states that the night of this recording she was home alone with her 1-year-old daughter, and while Robin was using the bathroom, she started recording a video as her little daughter wanted to come into the bathroom as well. However, it appears that something else was outside the bathroom door with Robin's little daughter.
Avery?
Out. Out.
Avery?
There seemed to be a pretty sinister face peeking through the door slit, which is extremely strange, as it appears to be attached to the baby somehow. Some people describe that they actually can see a skull here. And whatever it was does not appear human. And then there's also this weird little hand, which has a completely different color than the hand of her daughter that we see on the left. And it also seems somehow attached to this weird skull. What do you make out of this sighting? Did something otherworldly take place here? Something demonic, perhaps? The next case was uploaded by Isaiah Harris to his very own profile. He stated that he was out hiking with his cousin the following night, when they thought to have seen something quite creepy in the distance, and then the following unfolded. Do you see that? Is this perhaps another person? Something semi-transparent? A ghost?
Dude,
Just wait.
did you hear that? You didn't hear that. There's something under there. Bro. Dude, please don't go down there. Oh my gosh. Dude, hold on. Let me go first. Let me go first.
As one of the two men films into the sewer pipe, we can see the outlines of a strange person. Or is it a creature, perhaps? It is hard to say if whatever we see here is wearing any clothes. And perhaps it is just a weirdo. But if not, what else could this be? Was it also responsible for those weird noises that could be heard? What do you think? The man in the following video was traveling on a narrow road in the middle of nowhere one night. Apparently this area is pretty notorious for scary incidents that have been reported over the last 100 years. The most common story, however, is the one about the lady in red, who can be seen ever so often, standing on the side of the road and looking at passing vehicles. It is said that she lost her life in this very area a long time ago, but that her spirit is still haunting these grounds. The man was pretty uneasy after noticing a figure in what appears to be a red dress. He states that all he wanted is to get home as soon as possible after noticing this thing on the side of the road. And I suppose it will remain a mystery if that was actually the lady in red or just a lost person. Frank sent me the following capture of a man who was on a nightly ghost hunt in a not further disclaimed area. Aimed with his flashlight, it appears that he is scouting out some sort of retail or office building, and he might not be alone that night. A light object seems to peek into the frame from the right lower corner. No idea what it is. But it doesn't end there. Is a face looking at our investigator from behind this metal frame. Unsettling. In this video we are following the team of Mindseed TV into the supposedly haunted Wildwood Sanatorium, which is home to many ghost stories. The property owner is telling the team that many people see shadow figures in there, and that others are getting touched by those entities. Shortly after their arrival, they start the investigation after conducting a few interviews. They scout out the whole sanatorium, and it seems that the basement was the first area where something interesting was captured.
What's going on with this? Whoa, you hear that? What? Whoa, you hear that? What? Whoa, you hear that? What? You could probably hear it on your audio.
Certainly creepy. They make it back upstairs and take a look into the many former patients' rooms.
Like it. You leave here with all sorts.
What the?
As I spin my flashlight, I see that there's like a plastic ball falling down a staircase in the room that's adjacent to us.
What the? The team believes that this might have been thrown by one of the younger spirits that is still residing in this old building. A wind breeze? Unlikely.
We have placed 4 static cameras throughout the house in just random various locations. Most of them we didn't see anything interesting on, but one of them, the one that we had aimed at the stairwell where the ball had initially fallen down, it captured some pretty interesting things.
And then, one of the static CCTV cameras can capture this sinister face peeking out of the darkness. Could this be a former patient? Maybe something more evil that is still existing in the depths of the basement? Whatever the answer, it's very nightmarish. This video was captured by a young man who states that he was on a nightly stroll in his local forest. He says, although it can feel quite a bit creepy there at nights, especially since the area has no streetlights whatsoever, and the graveyard is located right next to this strip of forest. He never had seen anything strange before, but he tells us that he heard a weird whimpering noise that made him feel quite uneasy, and at this point he started recording and held the flashlight towards the noises. In his words, this thing just looked like a grey cloud that was floating towards him. Only after watching this video back at home, he had to realize that this was perhaps a spirit. Many think that it looks like a floating torso. So maybe it was a visiting spirit from the neighboring graveyard. Voice Evil has uploaded the following video. He wrote that a buddy's grandfather of his had died recently and that they were cleaning out his old shed. A friend of his buddy's took over the house, but unfortunately had to leave the place after a few days due to scary poltergeist activity. One evening they heard some strange noises from the shed, and the uploader stated that he wanted to record what was actually going on the property. This was his recording. We see a black object that is being thrown. But what was it? And who was that? Was it the doing of a spirit perhaps? The grandfather of his buddy? Let me know what you guys think. The following capture was taken by Night Guard in Mexico and shared by Pasillo Infinito. The Night Guard states that many of the staff are talking about really weird sightings that they come across, particularly in the midst of night in this old hospital. Even ghostly patients can be seen ever so often, roaming the hallways, although people are generally not supposed to be there that late at night. It's really strange, but if you look closely, you can see a torso coming out of the floor, which is obviously not possible. The security guard is pretty sure that we are seeing a spirit here, or at least something non-human. But what do you think? I have certainly no explanation for this. JC has sent in the following clip, which is a bit older, but still extremely creepy. The description reads, possibly a ghost apparition was caught on tape. This week, during a visit to the old World War II tunnels, the camera started to go crazy and was malfunctioning at the lower levels of the tunnels. Strange EVPs were caught on tape during the filming. These tunnels are not open to the public. This week, a small group of engineers were sent into those old World War II tunnels. The deepest part of the tunnels is approximately 1,500 feet into the ground and can be reached via several steps and wooden slides leading to the bottom. These tunnels were used for mining purposes before the World War. So, are we seeing a real ghost here from the olden days? Or is this just a video trick? The next video comes to us from Filthy Investigates, the Phantom Watcher. Phil is from Brisbane, Australia, and is an avid ghost hunter. He often will livestream his paranormal investigations for his viewers to be able to interact with him and experience the hauntings in real time. The clip we will be taking a look at today comes from one of his live streams. In this particular one, Phil is visiting an abandoned farmhouse that is said to be haunted. In the stream, he's exploring entirely alone. He spent some time inside the home, and it doesn't take long until he starts experiencing some paranormal occurrences. Knocking noises and even a few voice-like sounds can be heard around the house.
Do you mind if I smoke in your house? Can you repeat that? Do you mind if I smoke in your house? Something just hit the phone. And again.
It is only once Phil spent some time in the dark living room that he catches something shocking.
Nothing on that.
Phil is sitting in silence. Suddenly, a dark shadow appears to move directly behind Phil. This could not possibly be Phil's own shadow based on the way he is moving or the lighting in the room. Is this one of the spirits said to haunt the famous farmhouse? Many viewers are saying this is most likely a shadow figure due to the human-like form and tall stature. But let me know your thoughts. The next clip was found on Reddit and sent to me by Paul. He stumbled over it while browsing the paranormal section, and following video caught his interest. User I will stay Anon, thanks, has shared this footage a few days ago after capturing something unusual in an old church. Apparently the user was very interested in urban exploring, and the night in question, his destination of choice was the following 125-year-old abandoned church, and apparently is still in incredible shape, with its intact glass windows and the red velvet church pews. However, urban decay is slowly taking over this wonderful place. And it is said that, for whatever reason, the creepy basement, which is dark as night, is apparently haunted. Our explorer basically just was out to hunt for some exciting shots that night, and of course was hoping for some thrills. In the end, he might have gotten more than he was hoping for though. In his own words, he tells us, "I don't know what I have captured that night. It was all normal at first, while I was exploring the empty rooms, until a point when the following happened." The door is opening by itself, very scary indeed. However, there also seemed to be a crouched object that can be seen through the glass, possibly the reason for the door opening. But what was it? If we believe our explorer, the place was empty, and he made sure that nobody else was there at the time. Of course, you never have proof for that. Was it maybe a homeless person that is living in there? Or was this a paranormal encounter? The following video is quite the strange one, and obviously a bit older. It is said that a group of friends went to a supposedly haunted and abandoned building in the woods. There's a local legend about a manangal creature that is stalking these parts of the woods, and some people swear to have seen it. The group arrived at this abandoned place in the hopes to capture it on video tonight. Let's take a look. I mean, it is certainly hard to say what exactly they came across here, I find. Some say that this thing reminds them of a vampire. Others believe this to have been a prank with some terrible makeup. Well, what do you believe? A manangal or Uncle Hank with a Halloween mask? This was shared by Wade Lanigan, who's basically just hanging out with his son in the living room here. He has captured several strange incidents in the past and is recording video surveillance on the regular. Today he also suspects that he caught one of the several spirits that is said to haunt this home. The figure of a shadow man with a large top hat can be seen as he's walking across the living room and reflecting in the mirror, which is quite a surprise to everybody. If it is residing in his home, or if it's a haunting that is bound to his family, is unknown. Many people believe that there's way more behind this than Wade is sharing with us, but who can say? The following video was uploaded by Louis D, and this clip, Lewis is investigating a cemetery with some friends late at night. About this video, Lewis wrote, "The White Star Line created the world's most famous ship, the RMS Titanic. We have come to the resting place of the creator of the White Star Line to see if we can connect with the ghost of the Titanic. In some situations, cemeteries can be peaceful places to remember loved ones. However, in the video, multiple people mention that they felt a lot of negative vibes in this particular location. As we see, the cemetery is extremely dark and filled with some unusually tall tombstones. All in all, this location definitely seems like a place where one could capture paranormal evidence. The team ended up filming this chilling footage during an unexpected moment. They were simply exploring the grounds when this was captured."
Because when they're new, they look like that, don't they? They're like raised until they like level out. Because it takes ages for the grass to settle back down, doesn't it? It is very sinky.
The head and upper torso of a person appears to float and then suddenly evaporate out of sight. It is slightly translucent and is definitely foggy. In my opinion, the creepiest thing about this sighting is the way it disappears into thin air. Or was it simply someone's breath? Let me know what you guys think.